As I previously said, block explorers offer a wealth of information, and DCRDATA is leaps and bounds above even the most popular explorers. There is still more to cover, and in real terms we've only just scratched the surface. But this is a good point in our journey to say comparing data is vital to understanding. For this reason, we're going to take a look into two popular block explorers and the information on offer for other chains. For my investigations, I find it useful to see how Decred is performing against other blockchains. The most obvious to compare to is Bitcoin, but it's also worth remembering the security mechanisms are quite different at this stage in their life cycles. For my initial investigations into any new project, the information I'm most interested in includes coin supply and coin circulation, blockchain size, hash rate, transactions and block size. In terms of popular block explorers, there are quite a few, plus most projects roll their own. But in the past I've found blockchain.com and blockchair.com to be very useful. If you're interested in the Ethereum network, you might also find Etherscan useful. Let's start by looking at Bitcoin's data on blockchain.com's Explorer. First up, hit the Explorer link and you'll be presented with a barrage of information, most of which is price related. As useful as this might be, it's worth remembering most price data doesn't come from on-chain transactions. This information is confined to centralized exchanges and are never recorded on-chain. For all intents and purposes, if it isn't recorded on-chain, it didn't happen. In the next section, we can see the latest transactions and the latest blocks. The latest transaction section is the mempool, and each transaction added is getting prepared to go into the next or future block. The latest block section is quite interesting. Notice how the third block down, block 741,952, has a size of 150% full, meaning the size exceeds the maximum Bitcoin block size of 1 megabyte. This is possible due to the SegWit soft fork that tricks older nodes into accepting blocks that are bigger than the maximum block size consensus rule. Ultimately, this means that older nodes are no longer validating the transactions in a block, instead, unknowingly, passing this responsibility and trust to newer nodes. We can get a lot more Bitcoin data by clicking on the hash rate link. It's worth noting that these charts and extra information are only available for the Bitcoin chain. If you want additional information on other chains, this is where blockchair.com helps. One thing I like about blockchain.com's charts are the explanations given underneath. For someone new to the data, this can be really useful. If you click on the section header, it opens all the available charts. By clicking on a chart, it will then send you back to the previous page with that section open. For instance, let's click on the block details link and then blockchain size chart. Here we can see how the Bitcoin blockchain has grown over the years to a current size of 412 gigabytes. When you compare this to Decred's blockchain size of less than 9 gigabytes, you start to realize how manageable Decred's blockchain currently is. The next chart in the list is the average block size, and once again shows the maximum size of a Bitcoin block has indeed changed. Reportedly, a maximum block can now be 4 megabytes or 400% full. This chart also shows that this has been the case since October 2017. In Decred's case, exceeding the maximum block size rule is not permitted, and because all nodes are running the same software, the block would be rejected. This evidence can also be found in DCRDATA's block size chart. In the network activities section, there are some useful charts that look at how the chain is used. One in particular is the mempool size in bytes. This chart shows congestion on the chain, and when compared with the mining information fees chart, it gives an excellent indicator for how well the chain coped during times of large inflows of traffic. Next up, let's have a look at the information available on blockchair.com. Once again, click on the Explorer button, and this time we'll choose the Bitcoin Cash chain. Firstly, we see a bunch of promotional materials, which can be distracting, followed by the main information. In this view, we have all the information we're initially looking for, including blockchain size, hash rate, and transactions. And if we click on any of these, we get additional information. One of the charts on both explorers I find interesting is the hash rate distribution pie chart. which in the case of Bitcoin Cash suggests vast amounts of hash rate is controlled by a single mining pool, not a good signal for decentralization. A similar chart for Decred can be found at DCRDATA.com. The level of depth you can go to when doing research is extensive, and I can't express deeply enough the importance of looking into on-chain data before making an investment decision. Understanding how to interpret the information will also give you a massive edge and hopefully reduce the chances of getting pulled into projects that have no true value or participation or use case. Two things you should always try to keep in mind. 1. What does the information tell you about the project's decentralization? And 2. Is the project showing natural growth and participation based on real use cases? Once you understand the data, I would also recommend trying to use the project for its intended purpose. In Decred's case, try mixing your coins, staking your coins, trading on the DCR DEX, or simply transacting between two wallets. All too often, projects in this space produce huge amounts of hype, but when it comes to use, they fall short of their desired goals. A few examples of this are, for instance, the project either doesn't work as intended, or the user experience is so poor or buggy it's completely useless. Another example is it's too expensive to transact with, or there's some other barrier to entry. And my favourite, the project will achieve its goal sometime in the future. In the next DCRDATA video, we're going to look at some hidden gems, including the attack cost calculator, chain parameters, agendas, and the treasury. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to show your support, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.